Hi guys, it's KJM and let's talk turkey. That's right, last night at 8 p.m. Eastern, Holiday Hotline premiered starring Niall Matter and Emily Tennant. Now, I don't remember seeing Emily in any other Hallmark movies, so if she was in one prior to, please let me know. We know Niall from the Aurora Tea Garden series. We also know him from one of my favorite movies by him, Rip in Time. And he also had a cameo as a DJ at the silent disco in Santa Summit. So Niall is quite busy this Christmas season. All right, Holiday Hotline is an improvement from Niall's movie last year. Do you guys remember he was in that horrible movie When I Think of Christmas? And it had a lot of drama and tone deaf singing. It was just like a mess. And I don't even remember what I gave that movie from last year's Countdown to Christmas, but baby, I was so happy to see him in something that I could actually watch all the way to the end without needing an Advil or Tylenol, that I was ready to give Holiday Hotline within the first 30 minutes like a 7 out of 10, and that's exactly what I'm giving this movie. All right, let's get into the premise of the movie. Who would have thought somebody can have an entire movie about... Baby, I didn't even know you could do an entire movie on turkey and trying to prepare turkey. Now, I am West Indian. I'm from the island of Jamaica, and a lot of Jamaicans tend to find turkey to be such a dry meat. We actually replace it with curried goat, and then we have a whole chicken. So my family does not eat turkey. We do try every year to buy a turkey, prepare it, and donate it to a family in need. At least we did like 2 years ago. I'm not sure if we did last year. And donate it to a family in need that we know, if possible. So we're not turkey eaters. And yes, baby, from what I can see, turkey has always been the dry meat. And poor Jack is struggling, with this, struggling to make this turkey for his daughter for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But really, it's for Christmas because she wants to have her first traditional Christmas at home. Since her mom died 3 years ago, they haven't been doing Christmas at home. And Jack is convinced that he can cook this turkey. So they have something called the Holiday Hotline. And what do they do on the Holiday Hotline? They talk turkey, baby. So in this movie, Emily Tennant's character, her name is Abby, and she's originally from London. Her mom is from America, her dad's from England, and she's got this beautiful accent. Emily Tennant did a very good job, in my opinion, going from an English accent to an American one. A large part of my dad's side of family live in London. So, we have kind of like the English and West Indian accent, like the English and Jamaican accent mixed together. So it's really funny hearing them speak patois on top of the Queen's English. Whatever. It is that. So Abby is a chef in London, and she's a sous chef, and she was working for her boyfriend at the time, and his restaurant becomes famous for her dessert, which I think is Yorkshire pudding, or Yorkshire pudding. I think that's what it was, right? So he gets all the credit for it, and he never puts her name in the article. He never says that she is the secret weapon behind this wonderful recipe that's now made his restaurant popular. So we see at the beginning of the movie, Abby breaks up with her terrible chef boyfriend, and she says, business-wise and personal, we are over, and she's out. Her parents give her an early Christmas present, even though it wasn't even Thanksgiving yet. Gave her an early Christmas present where she could visit Chicago and stay at her aunt's apartment. Now, as I said, half of Abby's family on her mother's side, they're American. Now, let me tell you something. Chicago is one of my top 5 cities in this here United States. I love the Chi. I absolutely do. Magnificent Mile is like, I just love being out there. I really do. So I was excited that she was going to go to the Windy City and have this experience. I think that's what they call Chicago, is the Windy City. Anyway, yeah. So she gets there, and as soon as she arrives, the first thing she does is breaks the doorknob for her aunt's apartment, and in comes Jake and his brother Mike. They are architects, given the task of restoring this building with all the natural elements that it has. So while Abby doesn't think it's a big deal that she broke the doorknob, it's a big deal to Jack because he's like, hey, it's not going to be easy to replace. This is I don't want to call it an artifact, but this is, something that's been part of this building for decades, and it's not going to be that easy to, get rid of it. So their meet cute was kind of okay. It wasn't like, Navigating Christmas or even Christmas Island, where I love the meet cutes. This was just okay. I mean, they're over there talking about a damn doorknob. After that, Abby decides she doesn't want anything to do with being a chef right now because it's going to remind her of her broken heart. She meets Margaret, who also lives in the building that her aunt lives in. And Margaret is taking a break from the holiday hotline to spend time with her grandchildren. So Margaret, once she finds out that Abby is a chef, asks Abby to step in and go work at the holiday hotline, where they pick up phone calls from all over, people who are messing up turkeys. And I don't think because turkey's so dry, I don't think it's an easy meat to cook. I don't be up in the kitchen, but like I said, I don't mess with turkey. I don't like it. And I don't care what you dip it in. It's just dry. Baby, give me that curried goat. Okay? For everybody in the islands or, the continent of Africa who like them some goat, you know what it is that I'm talking about. Okay? So, but to each its own. So Abby decides this is kind of a cooking adjacent job. She's not actually cooking. She's just like consulting on the phone. So immediately she starts talking to people about making their turkey. And because she's got that British accent, honey, nobody actually wants to take advice from her because I don't even think they have Thanksgiving over there. But we do find out they got Black Friday because capitalism and consumerism lives on no matter what country you're in, it appears. And so, I wouldn't want to take advice from someone either that I don't know if if they've ever made a turkey in their life. So Abby comes up with the idea of doing her American accent, which she executed very well. And she takes the name Peggy in place of Margaret, the person that she was replacing. As Peggy, she meets John online. Okay, I was today's years old when I found out that Jack is the nickname for John. Americans, somebody explain that Jack and John. I even get confused about the Roberts and Bobs. Why is it not Rob? And I guess depending on who you talk to, maybe they're okay with Rob. It's just a lot. So, John decides, aka Jack, decides that since he's talking to a stranger online, he's just going to go by his name, his actual legal name, John, instead of his nickname, Jack. So the two of them start to have deep conversations. Baby, Holiday Hotline was kind of a Sleepless in Seattle meets You Got Mail, except without letters and emails. And it was all about the phone conversations. Immediately, John tells Peggy that he lost his wife 3 years ago and he's trying to make a turkey for his daughter for Christmas. He's going to do a dry run through Thanksgiving, but that kind of fails. And he needs help from the hotline. As he starts to open up to Peggy, he starts to have all these feelings for her. She's starting to have feelings for him. Then in the middle of the movie, like an hour into the movie, Peggy realizes that John and Jack are the same people and that she's fallen for this guy both on the phone and in person as she starts to get to know Jack in person as Abby starts to get to know Jack. I know this is a little bit confusing. So they take a little trip to Chicago's Christmas market and, they're seeing all this beautiful scenery, which was absolutely gorgeous, and they're falling for each other. But they're not sure if they're falling for the person on the phone or the person in person. Ultimately, these two were falling for the people in person, and they do get together. The Holiday Hotline brought them together this Christmas. I think this movie was super cute, not very deep, but it was so much better than when I think of Christmas. Now they done upgraded you this year. I really enjoyed Emily Tennant's performance. Her accents did not hurt my ears. And I thought this movie was great. Once again, I'm giving Holiday Hotline a 7 out of 10. It's KJM and I'm out. See you to the next review.